Alrighty, at 6:45, I will call this meeting to order. Can I have roll call, please?
Ms. Brown? Ms. Crespo?
Here.
Ms. D'Alessandro?
Here.
Mr. Frias?
Here.
Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Mr. Sim?
Here.
And President Langley?
Here.
We have a quorum for tonight's meeting.
All right, great, thank you. Can I get a motion to move, do I need a motion to move into close? Yeah, I do, right?
Motion.
Yeah,
So moved.
thank you. Second? Second? All in favor?
Hi.
All right, any opposed? No. All right, we'll go into closed session. We'll be back at 7:30. good? Okay. All right, it is 7:30. We'll reconvene the meeting. Can I have roll call, please?
Ms. Brown? Ms. Crespo?
Here.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Here.
Mr. Frias?
Here.
Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Mr. Sim?
Here.
And President Langley?
Here.
Quorum is met.
Great, thank you. Let's all rise to the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. D'Alessandro, could you read the mission statement, please?
The River Edge School District is a partnership of students, parents, staff, and community members. We are dedicated to providing a supportive environment in which all students can reach their maximum academic potential while developing as responsible citizens who respect individuality. Our goals will be achieved because curriculum and instruction are aligned with the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. All decisions reflect the academic, social, emotional, and physical needs of pre-K to 6th grade students. Cooperation and ongoing communication exists between the school district and the community. School administrators and the Board of Education work together to assess and adjust procedures in response to the new mandates and the changing needs of the community.
Thank you. Open public meetings notice.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting, its date, time, and place have been delivered to the post office, municipal building, and the record, and posted on the district's website at least 48 hours prior to the time of this meeting.
Thank you. We'll move on to public comments on agenda items only. Seeing as there are none, we'll move on to reports, or we'll start off with the special student recognition. Dr. Bernice?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Sarang, for joining us tonight. Sarang Lee of the Roosevelt School has been recognized for her artwork. It has won first place in the New Jersey International Lions Peace Poster Contest, an achievement that earns her entry into the prestigious USA Lions Peace Poster Competition, where she will compete for merit awards and a potential grand prize of $5,000. In your folders tonight, Sarang has been so generous as to sign a copy of her Peace Prize, her prize-winning Peace Poster. That's a lot of alliteration. We also have, I don't know if you've seen this, Sarang, but we had one printed for the podium tonight, so you can join us up here if you like. And Mr. Langley has a certificate for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Outstanding artistic achievement, dedication to providing message of peace. That's for you. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. That would be better if I could come around. Oh, yeah. That's come this way. We could take a picture. Right there. Get in the picture. See right there. I'll take it. We'll take a picture of you guys, of all of you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you.
You don't have to stay if you don't want. You're welcome to stay. We have to stay.
All right. Moving on to the financial report, audit report.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you?
Gary Higgins, I've been around a long time here. I apologize, I have a cough. My doctor said I'll cough for 6 weeks after the meds run out, and that was 3 weeks ago, and I'm still coughing, so. It's one of those things. Everybody's coughing. Yeah, that's it, so whatever, but. So I've gone full circle. Eric used to work for me in my old firm. So he left first, and then I left 4 years later, and now we're back together. So we do that. And what I brought up about everybody leaving, I was at Northern Valley Regional Demers told the Pan on Monday night, and they were giving out the fall awards. So there was about 120 students there who were getting awards, and they put the auditor after them. And Dr. Santana said, no, he's not even a doctor. He's James Santana. He lives in Wyckoff with me. He said, it'll be about 15 minutes. Well, after an hour and a half, I was still there, and I turned around, and everybody left, and just like tonight, there was nobody left. So once again, I felt very depressed that nobody stays around for the audit. So what you have before you is the audit for the June 30th, 25 year. I believe you have an electronic copy, and I can refer to some PDF pages if anybody's following along. The first most important thing is the independent auditor's report.
It's also attached to H1, if you're following on the agenda.
So I guess it would be PDF 16. I'm looking at the good old-fashioned hard copy.
So it would be the ACFR. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody's there. This is exciting stuff. So, one of the highlights of an independent auditor's report is the opinion in the second paragraph on that page, which is page number 8, PDF 16, basically states that the audit report and financial statements are presented in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. That's the highest level of attestation you can receive as an audit. It's considered unmodified, so you can't do much better than that. One thing to point out this year that's different, we have a change in accounting policy on the bottom there. There was a GASB, Governmental Accounting Standards Board 101 compensated absences that had to be implemented in the 25 year, but it had to be retroactive to show the change in the balance at June 30th, 24. So this was a whole crazy calculation that everybody had to do, and your basic financial statements that you rely on, your fund balances, didn't have an impact. It's more or less an accrual of compensated absences in a different way than it was done for 100 years. So the emphasis, a matter of paragraph, is there. You're fully compliant with that, so we're all good there. I'll move on to a couple other highlights. If you're following along again, I'll go into footnotes, PDF 58, which is the real page 42. Your capital reserve, which if you recall, it's kind of like a recycling bin. You take stuff out sometimes, and then your June resolution, in this case on June 18th, for anybody who was here, you actually opted to basically push all your excess surplus above the 2% plus adjustments into the capital reserve. So you picked up $1,882,000, you'll see there. So you began the year with roughly $4,450,000, and you ended the year with $6,503,000. So that's obviously available for anything in your capital plan coming forward. Your maintenance reserve, which is right below it, you just added a little interest earnings, and you still have $331,528 in that reserve. A couple other highlights. I know you have some capital items to talk about on your agenda tonight. So I just wanted to point out on PDF 64, page number 48, there's a calculation based upon your K through 6 district status of 2.5% of your equalized valuation percentages. That's the amount up to which you can borrow funds. So if you see there, about 2/3 of the way down, you can borrow up to $57 million. You currently have out $8,215,000, which is on the preceding page, on two issues, one from 2014 and one through 2021, with both of them expiring in calendar year 2031. So you got a ways to go before something drops off. But you can go out tomorrow and ask for $49 million from your taxpayers, and you're within the law, which is pretty crazy. Nobody's going to do that. So maybe a little lower.
We got a little bit of money.
Really? You're ducking under the number? So, not that I've seen anybody approach that number, because it's a big number for a K through 6 district, but that's what you're permitted to do under statute, all right? The next thing, just to go over, I guess, do we have the AMR?
AMR is also,
Second, I'll go through your surplus calculation, even though we touched on a couple. The AMR, which is regular page 11, it might be I didn't see the PDF, maybe it's paid PDF 14 or something like that, maybe? It is. Good guess. I'm into numbers, my wife hates that. All right, so what we do here, this goes back to Senate Bill 1701, about 15, 18 years ago, whatever year it was. You start off with your total expenditures of $26,109,105. From that, you deduct the on-behalf TPAF pension and Social Security that the state has paid on your behalf of $5,043,251. You did a new capital lease last year, which is actually shown as an expenditure under the budgetary method of accounting, so we have to pull that number out also. And you end up with a base number of $20,967,159. That's where the 2% gets applied to, and that's $419,343. And then you have one allowable adjustment. Anytime you receive state aid, in your case it's extraordinary aid, you budgeted $130,000, but you really received $633,799. You're permitted to add that on top of the 2%, and then you're also allowed during this calendar fiscal year to appropriate that money if needed for any purpose in the general fund budget without the Commissioner of Education's approval, excuse me. So your maximum unassigned balance is the $953,142. Your overall surplus balances at year end were $9,456,576. You had encumbrances at year end. These are purchase orders that are out, but they were goods or services were not received at year end. You have $500,000, which you designated in your June resolution from the prior year to go back for tax relief. Then your other restricted reserves are the maintenance and the capital reserve we previously discussed. And then the way your June resolution was, you want to put $500,000 then into the 26-27 budget. So you take the delta between the 953 and the 1,453,000, and you get another $500,000 again for the 26-27 budget, which is shown on detail on the next page, the two $500,000s, and that's basically the way we've been running the June resolution. After that, everything else goes into capital reserve. So that's basically the bottom line on what you want to care about with dollars and cents that you're operating on. And happy to say, if you go to the last page or the next to last page, there's no recommendations, which is a good thing. A lot of transactions happen, a lot of compliance issues have to be made, and we didn't find anything of a material nature that we found necessary to report in the ACFR. So, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I was going to say, any questions, board members? No, it's a good report.
That's what we
Thank you.
expect.
Yeah,
And he was trained by me,
yeah,
even though he only had a little bit.
good. Well, thank you very much.
This is actually, you're not even the guy on the record here, right? I'm giving you all the credit already.
well, I signed it, but it's not on the
Yeah.
roster.
I'm giving Louise really, she's responsible for this. I'm sure the next one will be fine too.
Yeah.
So, but, all right, well, thanks again for allowing us to do your audit.
Yeah.
I think this is my longest running audit since I've been in the business.
Oh, good.
Probably 35 years maybe. This year when, I forgot when it was this year. Long time ago. No, before that. I forgot her name, but I think I was doing this audit back in the early 80s. At Wayne Township, so. So it's fun. And I lived across the river in New Milford then, so it was just a boat ride across.
Yeah.
You're welcome to hang out for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah, if you want to stick around, you can.
Actually, this is my last meeting of the year.
Oh, great.
I just came from Carteret, and I might have to have a beverage on the way home. So
Yeah, why not?
Who knows? So. All right, everybody have a
Thank
great
you.
holiday season.
Happy
and we'll see you
holidays.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right. Yeah. Moving on to item 3, the capital projects review. Put this one.
if I could top that last meeting, last presentation. So we're just gonna go through the list? You wanna, well, everybody has a list in front of them, right? Okay. So as you can tell by this list that we've gone through both schools, we kind of identified items that we felt needed repair or replacement or sort of like a facelift. So we just go through the top and come down. We have Roosevelt items up top and then Cherry Hill are below. The biggest thing that we think should be priority number one would be the roof without a warranty, because the roof leak can cause a lot of damage, also can cause the M word, and that could shut down the school. So that's priority one, which we think. And there's a smaller area at Roosevelt and a larger section at Cherry Hill, which is like the area in the middle that we never replaced the time when we did Newbridge Center. The next thing, you kind of paving because of tripping hazards, liability. We think that's another priority number two, we'll say. There's also the 2008 roofs, but again, as I previously mentioned, the warranty for that ends at 2028, and it's really small sections other than the Newbridge Center. So we're talking about after 2028, you would be replacing this roof because it no longer have a warranty.
And there's no benefit to doing it all at one time?
You get a better dollar amount per square foot.
Right.
You get like a discount from the contractor because
Right.
you're doing all of that at one time. So he's buying all the material at one time. So,
It's just if we think it's necessary. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
and the next one is fire alarm. Fire alarm system works, but it's really old. You can't really expand it. If we're starting to do new mechanical items, you have to tie those things into the fire alarm system, and right now it's at its max capacity.
So that would affect the event project as well, because
Yes,
they have to be
yes.
tied? I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's an older system, so.
Yeah.
And then the big one would be the unit ventilator replacement in the classrooms. Now, this is, I'll say it's priority 3 or 4, but it's all about the repair. It's like you have a 1969 Camaro, and you're trying to get parts. Each part for that needs to be replaced needs to be custom made. So the price to replace certain items is extraordinary. So that's really why you kind of push this priority up. Now, you could replace the unit ventilator with a like-in-kind unit ventilator heating, but it's for a couple more dollars, you can have heating and cooling, which would take you into the next 20, 30 years.
Replacing those would require fire alarm upgrade at the same time.
Fire alarm upgrade, and at Roosevelt, I don't know if you guys were involved, but we did an electrical upgrade here in anticipation for future HVAC in classrooms. At Roosevelt, we would need to do something similar, but not a brand-new system. We just add branch panels throughout the school so we can tie into that panel rather than build a new electrical service. You have enough capacity at that school to provide.
So that's down
HVAC.
towards the bottom. where it
That's
says
down
electrical
towards the
panel.
bottom, yeah.
Electrical panel.
Yep, that's 552.
Okay.
Then you have other items like window replacement. These are like, these windows haven't been replaced since I've been involved in this district, and that's since 2003. So they're old, they're original, so you're losing heat. You're gaining heat. So that's an item that we have on this list. Then you go and get into toilet renovations. Now, your toilets and your bathrooms, they're fine, but it's just, they need a facelift. They're original toilets in some areas. So you still have those urinals and floor basins, and stuff like that. It's just cosmetic. A lot of the things, as you go further down, are cosmetic. There's some asbestos floor tile. Now, during my time here, we've been knocking out pieces pieces, areas of asbestos, removing plaster, putting a new drop ceiling in, floor tile. And that can always be done over a period of time. You could stage 1 or 2 classrooms, a section of a hallway. But again, it's all about money because every year prices are going up. Nothing's going back down. So it's just all about, the dollars. And then there's the gym floor replacement. Right now, I don't think we could sand anymore because we're down to the splinters now. So that floor needs to be removed and replaced.
Would it be replaced with another wood floor?
Yes.
Is that the only option, or
Well, you
that's
could-
the most cost-effective
It's
option?
the most cost-effective option.
Okay.
You could do something like pour in concrete and then do a synthetic floor on top, like a rubberized surface. But that really doesn't last as long as wood.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bleachers, the original bleachers, so. And just casework and with the cabinetry and all it's all original pieces of equipment. So over a period of time, you could phase replacement, but that's all this process. We need to all sit down and put our heads together and figure out how we want to tackle it, and then I can come up with a plan based upon your budget to hit those items every year, if that's the sort of direction we want to go. But the big items that's tied together is the univentilator. If you wanted to do that, I would suggest that you also do the automated building controls, because, like I said, you're going to be putting in these very complicated pieces of equipment in a room, and you need to be able to monitor that because it gives you that ability. You can do it from your phone. So that's kind of like tied in together.
The ventilator replacement of the bridge is also,
Well, like I said, this is almost 20 years, so to replace these parts in these mechanical units is starting to get to that point where they're going to be custom.
they're not the same age as the one in Cherry Hill.
No.
Roosevelt.
Do we know if there's any potential for rebates, for energy efficiency, grants, or anything like
Yeah,
that?
we kind of used that all up in COVID.
Okay.
So hopefully, with the new regime, they'll start looking into that.
In terms of urgency, would you rate your bridge at the same level as Cherry Hill and Roosevelt? Or
The
those-
univentilators?
Yeah.
No, I think you got a couple more years here in this building before we get to that point. But again, if we're going to do all of this at one time, you'd get a fantastic number now or whenever you want to do it versus if you want to do it 4 or 5 years down the line.
Trying to, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
we don't always get to do what we want.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm here to help, so
Yeah.
whatever direction you want to take, we can just sit down and get a game plan together and try to hit it. Attack it every year.
Okay.
If you have any questions? I didn't drive all the way here to not have one.
The
I'm sorry?
electrical panel,
Would
needs
have
to be
to.
done at Roosevelt, that's a must.
If you
any-
do the HVAC
Only
upgrade,
HDB.
it's fine. You have enough capacity now. It's just that if you want to,
If you upgrade the system.
yeah, because it's
There's no capacity.
more electric it uses. Because your units now are not electric. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
HVAC, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, the discussion as a board, right, we're talking about putting this on a ballot, right? So we have to think about what kind of dollar range we're comfortable is worth it, and comfortable with putting on a ballot and requesting which can we chip away at out of our operating budget, over the next 5 years. or
And
whatever.
you've already talked to, or you got something from Phoenix, right?
Phoenix, correct. Yep, so, I went out to our Phoenix advisor, which they do a lot of secondary market disclosure. And they also, kind of see where the impact is for if we were going to go out to debt. So roughly, they did a $10 million referendum if we were going to go $10 million and issue debt. The advantage is some of that is covered by the state. We get state aid, so they factor that in as far as what the net effect would be, less that state aid, plus they factor in a conservative interest rate, which they feel that it's going down, the projection is going down. But roughly $10 million with all that factored in on the average home in River Edge, which is $675,000 is the average home. It's about a little under $129 per year increase. So just-
Okay.
And they did like that's why they did 10 million, it's an even number.
Right.
Yeah.
And the state aid takes some of that burden away?
So
The
correct.
taxpayer, that's how
I
that
just wanted
works?
to mention that, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
That 40% is, of these projects will qualify for debt service
Oh, I see.
aid.
Okay.
Yes.
Because they're renovation.
Correct.
So we're asking for X, but the actual burden is going to be less than that.
Correct.
Okay.
The burden to the taxpayer is 60% of what?
What we asked
Correct.
for.
Correct.
Correct. But we're going to have to get a bond for 10 million plus the interest, but as we pay it down, some of that's coming from the state. The state's
Right.
giving us aid to pay it down.
Yeah, the interest probably offsets that.
Correct. So we don't got to raise all the taxes.
I got it. Okay. What are the interest rates like?
They have it based on, I think, 4%. Yeah, 4%.
terrible.
So they feel like that's very conservative, that we could probably, and we actually got a increase in our rating.
Yeah, we could do better than that.
We could do better.
All right.
Yeah, we'd probably be in the 3s.
Any concerns with the roof and right now, with snow, the weight of, if we get more storms, any concerns immediately or no?
No,
Okay.
it's just the concern of if something happened that you'd have to hire somebody to come fix it. It's not under warranty.
Right.
So you're
So
gonna
what do you
pay
think could
double.
happen?
What do I think could happen?
Like potentially, like, so-
Nothing,
you know?
I mean, structurally, it's fine.
Okay,
Those are concrete deck roofs, so you're fine that
Okay.
way. It's just, the water getting in over a period of time will start to deteriorate the structure.
Okay.
So we're not at that point yet.
Sure.
Because
Okay.
you would be seeing leaks.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
How old is the older part? There's a 2008, right, and how old is the other part? Do we
Before
know?
me, so.
Okay, so-
Yeah, it's gotta be over 20 years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know it's not part of it, but have we looked at solar?
Yeah, we looked at solar a while ago, when it was really big, early 2010s. But now with the value of SREC, that plummet, I mean, you could get a PPA in it. They can come in here, that's a power purchase agreement, where a third-party company comes in and they put the solar panels on your roof. They give you a discount on your utility bill based on the savings that they're providing. But, you really, it's not that, you don't have that many schools to make it really
I asked you
profitable.
to do the roof, that's the one time, that's the time.
Oh, yeah, and you would have to do the roofs before you put
Yeah.
the solar panels in.
And there's a cost associated with putting in those solar panels, right?
No, they
There's not?
factor that in their numbers, the
Okay.
power purchase.
Okay,
I think you have to commit to leaving them a certain amount of time.
15 years.
okay.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I thought you had to pay for them. Okay.
We did it in Teaneck, but that was 2013 when it was really hot. We also did one in Tenafly. But it's to be quite frank, it's really not that much of a saving now because they have all these programs, ACES, and it's almost equal now.
Oh, I see. Could, yeah.
The weight of those though for a roof,
You take that all into consideration, we get a structural engineer, look at the structure. The panels now are way lighter than what they were in 2013, so.
Yeah.
They're almost negligible.
Yeah.
So, 4-foot solar panel now, it's
Yeah.
No, yeah.
The cost of the structural engineer is included in this roof
Oh,
replacement?
for sure, yeah, I mean, it would be.
In the
good.
roof replacement, no, in the PPA it would be.
Okay,
Yeah. When we're doing the roof,
Those
we'll
are
look at the
expensive.
structure.
okay.
Yeah, roofs, I'll say maybe before COVID, they were $35 a square foot. And now they're at 45. That's 5 years ago, 8 years ago. I'm sorry.
You're saying about regular roofs or solar?
Regulars, yes.
Oh, regular, oh, the cost, yeah.
I mean, everything is just,
Everything.
it's just contractors and manufacturers, everybody just gouging. I mean, 2 years ago, HVAC it was like $60,000 to do a classroom with that type of unit that I explained. Now, we were getting bids this past summer, and they were $120,000 classroom.
Wow.
Do we think that's because of the tariffs?
The tariffs never happened. The ones that affect this equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Interesting.
But they did jack it up because of anticipation of that.
Yeah. It's just the climate.
Crazy.
And we anticipate that trend to continue, so if we are like,
Yeah,
let's
so-
wait and not do this now, it's just gonna keep getting more.
Yes, and what the numbers I put in here are based on what I think it will be a year from now, but like, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Crystal ball.
Nah,
No.
nah, I wish I did, I'd be betting on a Super Bowl or something.
Does anyone need a little tutorial on the worksheet Jen was sent out?
Well, I don't know, I think we all probably get it.
I was able to,
Figure it out.
Yeah, you just had questions about the items, like,
Yeah, so
yeah,
the
which I
questions
think
were
we
just
covered,
about,
yeah.
yeah, finding out exactly which items, what it meant, a few items, what they meant, yeah.
I mean, I think that moving forward, I mean, I think the finance facility, we could bring it back to committee and they could present like an official recommendation to the board, right? Sometime in the new year, because timeline wise, we would be thinking about 27, we were saying?
A good measure is from the time that you guys select what you want to do and a number.
Yeah,
It's going to take me 2 months to submit to the Department of Education, and then they're going to review it for about another 2 months, and then you get the PEC letter. That's your letter saying what they're going to provide, state aid-wise. And then at that point, you submit it to the Board of Elections prior to 60 days. And then you just, wherever that falls, you'd see that January, your Board of Elections. November, okay. Whoa. So it's either, it'd be January, March, November, December.
So we need to decide this time next year, have everything locked and ready to go. for
Yeah, I mean,
November.
even if you said like today, it would be, it would be probably September when we could go. So the clock just keeps going. So you just use that as a benchmark.
So roughly 9 months from decision to
Yes.
being ready to
Right.
actually start work.
Right. But there's a lot that goes before the
Right, I
decision, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to present it to the town, you got to meet with the financial advisors,
Yep.
get the right
Yeah, that's what, I
number,
think that's what we.
figure out a number. So, but I'll be here. I'll be. I was with the first one, the last one, so.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
we
help
can
you
certainly
guys
map out a
I'll walk you
timeline
through
that
it as much
takes
as I
into
know.
other-
So we'd have to look at November of next year for a number and then
Right.
back off our own timelines from there.
Right,
And then work with Rodney on a submission, or like 11 months from now, we have to be pretty
Like
firm
ready.
on a plan to get it on the ballot for November of '27.
and we probably want to get some kind of public input,
We have 11 months to figure that out.
yeah, okay.
So we don't have an idea of how much yet we're willing to spend or can spend without, we don't,
Well, we are up to 47 million.
Yeah, so we could probably
but
have-
I mean, to put us
And,
in a position,
Nobody,
And as far as impact, I mean, there is no debt coming off within a couple of years.
Right.
There's two issuance or refunding. One is, I believe, the 2030-31 school year, and then another one's 2031-32 school year, the way it's budgeted. So there's nothing that's, ideally you try to in line with debt coming off, but the time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably wouldn't want to go near or over our annual operating budget, right? I mean, in general, I mean, we wouldn't want to.
right, that's what I just mean, like,
But we
being
wouldn't
able
do
to
it
work
for-
within, did you have an idea already, or maybe not, we haven't discussed yet what
it's
we,
the first time we're discussing it really.
Correct.
I would like the board members to use the worksheet, generate a couple of different outcomes. 'Cause every time you hit submit on the bottom, it's gonna give you a PDF of an outcome. Go through a couple of, do best case, worst case, however you wanna frame it, a medium case, what's the average? Take out the things that you think that we can probably pay for on an annual basis. We're doing 3 classrooms a year for the asbestos
like immediate concerns, just as an example of like the roof and say the gym, like that's something that we could financially pay for now if there was an emergency?
Probably not the
Probably
roof.
not the roof.
Okay,
The gym we're probably gonna have to do because of the current
It's an
conditions.
emergency.
We just can't wait till
Yeah.
2020
Right, and
to start
that's-
to work on the gym floors.
right.
That we're gonna have to pay for. So that you wouldn't even check off on the worksheet, right? That we're gonna have to figure out.
Just cross that off.
Okay.
Cross off,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to figure
So
out.
but the roof, we can extend
Yeah.
2 years roughly?
You could do it in sections too, you could phase it.
Okay.
You don't have to do it all at once.
So in terms of procedure, what is the next step for reviewing these? Because this is a lot of conversation that needs to happen.
So-
I think it goes back to committees. I mean, it
Yeah,
goes to the board and
yeah,
then
we
come
can
back.
discuss it at the next, we can bring it back to finance and facilities, talk about it again, and then we can revisit it as a group at the January 28th meeting
But
and see
individual
where
board
everybody.
members are welcome to go ahead and use the worksheet to study finance and facility.
Oh, for sure.
That, yeah, you make recommendations. That's the point of having the committees, make recommendations.
I mean, this kind of sounds like a retreat type topic.
Could be.
We have 11 months.
I mean, we can
The
cert,
small groups and then maybe coming together after they're discussed may just be more manageable than having everyone talk about.
yeah, I mean, early, after the reorg, we can certainly have people submit their sort of suggestions to finance and facilities. We can get finance and facilities to revisit the topic and then revisit it again at the end of the month, and then we can figure out then if we want to schedule a retreat for like February, March to talk it through in more detail, we can do it that way.
Is that how you see board manages mostly?
Yeah, I could put a rough timeline together too, that'll help you.
It might help.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would help. New territory.
I just think we need more public input.
And
we-
we can build surveys, we can open
Yeah,
up.
Yep.
I think, well, what I was thinking about while we were talking is maybe taking the items and surveying different schools and seeing what people think would be the most important thing to deal with first. Since it's
think-
money that's gonna come directly out of
They
the
will-
pockets of
I
They
think
will
we just have to
to.
make sure we rate it by risk though, like what,
Yeah, I
the
think
top.
that's important,
Yeah.
obviously the community input. I don't know that all of these things, like we have to choose
Yeah,
with, our staff, like what is the most important. I mean, really, I feel like you guys really know best what the immediate concerns are, and of course, then most likely that's what we're gonna fall in line with, what immediate safety concerns and improvements that we need.
But that's how they're
Then-
listed, right?
then
They're
we
listed
can-
by concern, okay.
Well, I mean, I think this was also, you said like facelifts are great,
There's
but,
some of them, yes.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like dire things that really need to be replaced for like the safety of the buildings. So I think once that's determined and then we agree on that as a board, then we can definitely put it out to the public to, I guess, collect information, but.
I wouldn't want to say.
Prepare Roosevelt and Cherry Hill are both equally as important, so I don't know if one school survey says it's not important.
No, well,
You know what I mean?
I would separate the surveys, and only Roosevelt School will decide Roosevelt School things.
But you can't replace, if the community decides that the roofing project is important at Roosevelt but not at Cherry Hill, but it is important, you know what I mean? I feel like we need to collect as a board to find out what the needs are first before we can talk about giving it to the community, because we are in charge of making sure this is running the right way.
Yeah, but I don't want to get to a point where we're pulling money out of people's pockets for
No, of
things that
course,
we've
I'm a
decided,
taxpayer, but
you know?
I think that we have advisors as to what is the most important.
I think it's also important to give background on some of these things.
well, yeah, I'm saying we can have like an
Yes.
informational session.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure, and we can we would talk about
As
having a
team,
consultant to
we're
put
gonna
together,
come up with the best,
yeah,
what we
mean-
know is needed.
I think, yeah, a lot more has to go into it before it's public ready. I think we also have to understand what are potential items that can be managed through our existing budget and then pulled from this as well. We're not going out for 42 million,
Right.
or even close to that number.
Well, the cosmetic things, I think, are
Yeah.
the dire needs. I think those, like you said, I think those need to be removed from the list. Let's focus on the emergencies first.
And then what else can be fit in or not? Again, what can be done each year out of the existing budgets.
I think, you know, I've been doing this a while, I think every district, every community has the biggest, they have to figure out what that number, that golden number is that they could pass, or you won't piss people off, right? Once we get that number, then we can play with this.
Yeah, but we won't know what the number is. What if the things that are an emergency surpass the number that we think is something that we can go for? You know, then we're gonna have to figure out how to phase it, and it's just, there's a lot of massaging on both
Oh,
sides.
yeah, oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of informing too, right?
Yep.
So people don't know that a roof in decay is going to cause leaks, which cause mold, which shuts down schools.
Well, I don't know what a univent is. I didn't
Yeah.
know what it was before I heard this here.
Right.
You know, so I think, you know.
And
or-
information sessions and pictures and
Yep.
presentations and
Yep.
publications.
Yeah.
This is all the effort that has to go into this
Yep.
in order to ensure the fact that we get an informed plan.
I would say that there's some urgency in that communication. People like to know, like, ahead of time that.
Oh, sure. Well, that's why we're looking at,
Yeah, no, I know, I think it's a good timeline.
This is not something we're gonna do now. This is something that we're thinking for, not 2026, 2027.
27.
have it on the
Okay.
ballot by November 27,
November of 27. Okay, good.
right?
Big-
Yeah, I'm thinking of this.
Oh, these numbers.
My
yeah,
term
I gotta-
expires then.
I gotta rip these numbers up now.
I know you did them a year out, so it'll be, we'll add some percentage on
Add
it.
4 or 5% to all those numbers, right?
Yeah.
So roof is a maintenance item. So we were proactive when it's a matter of a roof. The Roosevelt roof was, we were replacing the roof, and then in the middle of doing it, the cover fell off
Yeah.
when there was a wind and the heavy rain. That's why the floor got damaged and the floor was done.
Yes.
So, I mean, yes, we prefer the emergency, but we try to avoid the emergency situation. We are proactive
Yeah.
before something happens. And the roof falls in that category. Some other safety and structural issues, obviously we have to consider it. So I don't know what we can gather all together, put it in the referendum versus we worked on the five-year maintenance plan already. So that one of the first item is the roof. And then section by section we replace it before anything happens. Sometimes we take the earlier action so that any further deterioration of the roof can cause any problem. So this can be our what do you call the reference, but I don't. I mean just more cautious that thinking about making a big project and then putting on the referendum. That was we have to be very careful about it. The last referendum we had was at New Rich Center,
yeah.
and then there were years that budget even didn't pass. The community was very not happy, even though in the school put out many advertisements and advocating what we are what we are doing for and this and that, but they still voted down our budget, and it was approved by the mayor and council. So we had that history also. So just yes, we know sometimes we know we feel like an urgency, so we have to put it out and the big amount, and then kind of shove that into the taxpayers' mouth. But we have to calm down, and they are very, working for us and keeping us, what we can plan it whenever we need. So we've been doing good. I'm proactive and keep the maintenance in right phase and then right time. So nothing. Actually, we don't see any emergency thing happen. So we are on good track, but we have to keep that in. And also, what's the available capital project, the capital reserve next year?
So basically, it's like about 6.5 million. So we were able to bring it up. Obviously, a lot of that, some of that is used for cash flow. We're mindful as far as investing it. So typically, historically, we try to invest it in higher interest rates, whether it's through a CD, something that's safe, but we're still getting a higher interest rate. And then the maintenance reserve, which is utilized for maintenance projects, either through the budget or if something happens during the year, that's at about 330,000, which we withdrew some of that this year. So it's actually down to 290,000.
So as a committee level, committee can recommend, based on the 5-year plan, 10-year plan, or 15-year plan, so we can kind of lay out what can be done.
Yeah, I mean,
Instead of
the cap
putting it
reserve
to
is
a
definitely part of
referendum.
the discussion, right? I mean, we don't want to, we can't deplete it, obviously. I think we'd like it to be higher than it is.
So what I'm trying to say is that don't rush into we have to put it in the referendum. Just, so there are other things we can do with our resources and what we have.
Any other questions, comments for now?
A lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah. All right, so the follow-ups is we'll bring it back to committee, and then we'll go from there. And if you could send us a timeline, that would be very helpful.
Sure.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for-
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're also welcome to stay. Everyone's welcome to stay.
I've been coming here long enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to superintendent report.
Good evening, everybody. We did announce Teachers of the Year for 2026. We're going to recognize them formally here at the board meeting, at the reorg meeting.
Oh, great.
It'll be part of the reorganization of the district. I think it'll be nice to do. They already have their invitations. And we presented them with an initial certificate and balloons. Actually, it's a letter. It's a letter inviting them to the meeting so that they can get their certificates and their
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, sir. So that will be on January 7th when we will all, well, most of us will gather again for the reorg. You're welcome. You also are welcome to come to the reorg.
You can come and sit right over there.
On the agenda tonight is the policy manual approval. I didn't bring the giant manual down. This, of course, is one of the largest efforts a board can take on. I've already said it once, but I'll say it again, and I'll say it again next month when we had the second read. But this was a giant effort. It took about a year from the time we decided to do it till the end. Special thanks to Mr. Langley, he was in every one of those committee meetings, paging through those the thousands of pages of policy and regulations. So that is on the agenda tonight for a first read. I do have a physical copy of that in the office. Strauss Esme sent us a physical copy as the draft for review. We did the review digitally, and those documents are available to the board. Anyone who wants to come and see now that it's a first read, that draft is welcome to come to the office if you want to look at a physical copy. I wouldn't let that out. I don't know anyone who wants to bring that to their car, but anyone who wants to look at any specifics is welcome to come and do so.
Sorry, real quick, just one question.
Sorry.
So once we do the second read, how long until it's can be live on the website?
Probably rather quickly, because
Right.
as long as there's no changes between the first read and the second read, which I don't anticipate, we made a lot of changes.
Yeah.
There's always and keep in mind, policy is dynamic, so let's say we discover something there that needs revision after the fact, we'll just revise it through the same process that we're using now, a first read, a second read, and a revision. Strauss Esme is very responsive. We do the changes pen and ink and send them to them, and they're happy to do it for us. My guess is that probably once it's a second read, 60 days, and it'll be live on the website and searchable. Right now, we would take down obviously all the old policy, but we also have access through the Strauss Esme, I'll call it search engine. Right now, our policies are not searchable. They're all in PDFs that are uploaded to the website. It makes it very difficult to find things when we need them, but the Strauss Esme search engine is very powerful, and even the public can put in the keyword and go ahead and find whatever they need to find the policy. So it's a really, it's quite dynamic and a really helpful tool.
And do we have to archive our old policies for any reason? Would we need to hang on to those?
I don't see why we'd have to, but we certainly could.
if you were to have to say, what was the policy back then for some legal reason or something?
So we submitted our policies to Strauss,
Oh, okay.
and where they renumerated them, they took our current policies and crafted that into
Oh, okay.
so we're not really changing too many policies. We're adding a bunch because there's some policies we simply are required to have that we didn't.
Right.
So where we're not, where there are very few changes to the policies that were from this month, let's say, to next month. The one change that is that we have 5111 about the tuition students that
Oh,
we're
that's right.
approving separately for the second reading. That's the biggest change. The rest are a remuneration, a reorganization, and a giant addition to many, many sections of the policy manual.
Okay.
Okay. I was asked to talk about schedule changes, mostly delays, early dismissals and closings. We were asked to give cause in the text message that goes out, whether even a brief line, and that's okay. I think traditionally we have done that. We didn't do it on Sunday. I wrote that. I thought it was kind of obvious, but people want to be more explicit, so I'm happy to do that. I also, something I did in a previous district was I really didn't send anything out before 7 p.m. the night before. It was discussed with the other superintendents that we should give people the most amount of time that we can, so why not go ahead and organize this? And the 3 districts talked, and we said around 1 p.m. should be good. This way people did have time to respond with whatever child care issues they might have had. But waiting until 7 p.m. Probably would not have changed the outcomes, especially because I knew that Riverdale and Oradell were going to delay. I was also informed that we probably could have used the time in the morning. And in hindsight, we were able to use that time in the morning to get rid of the ice that was here. And everyone did arrive to a nice kind of clean, dry campus, which was the ideal. But waiting until 7 p.m. gives me the most options. If anyone knows anything about weather, that's kind of when they issue the last forecast for the next 12 hours. So it really gives us one last look at what weather we might anticipate in the next 12 hours. So I'll probably adopt that. And then I'll also, I'd like to probably talk to the other superintendents about decoupling from I'll always talk to them and talk about what we're doing, but know that I don't necessarily feel obligated to do what the other districts are doing. It might cause some students in high school and then students in elementary school, but I don't know, those students can probably figure it out, right? The older students, if they have to go to school.
I was saying, I feel like if the high school delays and the elementary school doesn't, that's like, okay.
Right.
Better than the other way around.
Right, and I worked in high school, as you know, for a long time. There are concerns about high school students. Some of them are driving to school. You have new drivers driving to school in subpar conditions, we'll say, and that's a concern for a high school district. It really is, and most of our students either walk or are driven by someone else. I don't know any sixth graders that are parking in the lot outside. So it's those are the types of things that we have to consider when we consider the greater risk profile of calling a delay, letting students out early, which I almost will never do once we're here. We're kind of here because I can't let students out if there's nobody at home, right? And that's the kind of, in drastic, dire emergencies, a roof blows off, yeah, okay, fine, we're gonna have to do something. But that's not likely. And then a close is a close, and sometimes those have to wait till the morning, but I'll try to give folks a heads up the night before if we're thinking about closing. And sometimes you delay at 7 p.m. knowing that you might have to close the next day. It's hard to predict sometimes whether any forecast that's 2 hours old is a waste. So those are things that we can consider moving forward.
For those delayed openings, I heard some people express concern. There's no rolling drop-off time, like, you know how in the mornings there's that little grace period
Yes.
that the doors are open, so it's just 10 o'clock when the doors open. For the delayed opening, there's no like grace period or
Well, there,
a little bit earlier, like an extra 5 minutes earlier, something,
the
because
an-
I know it's cold out, and I heard that there were a lot of concerns.
so the answer is where there is no built-in grace period, I'm not marking anyone late on a delayed opening
Sure.
day. That just doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
So if you're here at 10:10, okay.
Okay.
That, I can't write that anywhere. Here it is, right? We're all given some I'll say extended understanding on days where there's particular challenges that are introduced by either weather or structure.
Okay.
Yeah. No one has to race here. They get here at 9:59.
In teacher contract, they're here only 5 minutes before students, right?
Yes, not very
So
long.
it's not a lot of time.
And that's one of the reasons why we don't have early, opening the doors early, because the staff may not be here.
Right.
Additionally, you have to also understand, I have staff that travel from all over the place,
Sure.
and they have to get here, and
Yep.
nothing's worse than opening the doors at 8 a.m. when you know that there's not enough staff here to even.
Because if their district's delayed, right?
Right.
And they have kids,
Right.
right, then it's
Yeah.
like a domino effect.
So when I say greater risk profile, that's something
Yep.
else we have to consider. If we can't get the staff here, then we can't open.
Right.
So. All right, that concludes my report.
Oh, great, thank you. Any questions? Board Secretary report.
Thank you, President Langley. So I have a few items to discuss. First is the election results. So the the Bergen County Board of Elections has finalized the votes for the 2 highest vote getters for the 2 full-time seats. So I'd like to congratulate President Langley for getting reelected.
Thank you. It helps when you're the only one, yeah, it helps when you're the only one on the ballot.
Unfortunately, the other highest vote getter, which was a write-in, has declined. He was unable to fill the seat. So as a result, now it'll go through an appointment process or interview process by the board, which that has to be filled within 65 days from the vacancy.
65. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the information I received.
Okay. And so we said this, I don't know if we said this publicly or not, it's going to be posted as if it were an opening, so it'll be available to see, and we'll certainly talk about it at the meetings, and people can submit really just a submission statement, right, to the board email? We had said,
You can make whatever you want, post it as a vacancy, like we would any other vacancy, where they can simply sign in, upload a resume, upload a cover letter, and keep going. If you'd like it something simpler, a letter of intent perhaps, to you, sir.
yeah. Yeah, I think we had said a letter of intent. I think we said we didn't. And a resume. Yeah, they can send that to me or the board email. That'd be fine.
We'll do it that way. We'll post it that way then. We'll
Yeah.
make it say that.
And this is for a 1-year term, correct? The remaining 2 years will be on the ballot November 26th, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So it'll be a 2-year post as well as the other seats that are.
Right. Yeah.
Have you received any interest from anyone?
I haven't asked, so once we ask, we'll.
I haven't heard of anything, but
I
if
don't
anybody
know how
knows
many
anybody.
people know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think,
Yeah. I've been talking
just
about
have to get the
it,
word
but
out.
everybody-
but-
That's true.
The next item was student enrollment and state aid snapshot update, which is also called ASSA. So that has been, the review process has been completed and certified to the state. That was supposed to be due December 17th, so that we got in prior to that deadline. And then just some key highlights. Overall enrollment numbers decreased. So this is students attending either Roosevelt or Cherry Hill. That went from 1164 to 1142. Resident students also decreased, which that number, obviously pulls into the enrollment on roll. That decreased from 1147 to 1119. Special education resident students increased from 125 to 136. So basically, what the state utilizes this data is basically to calculate the state aid for 26-27. And this is the budget that we're in the process of completing for next year. So what I'm basically, based on, the current state aid formula and what, past practice by the state, we're projecting that it's going to be another decrease of capped at 3% if they're sticking with that cap number, which is roughly around $95,000 decrease in state aid. I mean, anything could change by the state. They could have, they could throw more state aid into that formula, but that's, what we're projecting when I build a budget flat, also with a decrease of 95,000 for next year. The third item is boiler projects at Roosevelt and Cherry Hill, just to give everyone an update. That project has been completed, and it's in the process of being closed out by the district's architect with the vendor that completed it. There's some paperwork that they need to check off on their end. And then once that happens, then we could submit the final reimbursement to get that final SDA grant, because that is covered, a portion of it's covered through grant by the state. In addition, you'll see there's 2 resolutions on tonight's agenda under Finance Section H7 and H8. That's basically to approve the negative change orders, reducing the overall contract award that was approved by the board. Both those projects is a decrease of $25,000. So basically, the project came under budget. We didn't need to do the allowance. And what will happen is that unexpended balance, which was funded by capital reserve, which will go back to capital reserve once we close out the project. The fourth item is the new playground at Roosevelt. That has been completed. So I would just like to thank the PTO, the Roosevelt PTO again, for making the generous donation to the district, which helped finance that project without impacting the taxpayers. Now we just need, the warmer weather. Unfortunately, we got a lot of snow to kind of utilize that playground. But hopefully in the spring, once the weather gets warmer. The fifth item is health benefit update, which is a hot topic. It's one of the second leading drivers in the budget besides salaries. So as part of our ongoing review of our current benefits program, we analyzed it through our broker of record, which is Brown & Brown, the district's recent SEHBP, which is our state employment health benefit program through the state. We received the claims experience and how it compares to similarly situated employers in the market, other districts. Based on that review, the district's claims activity has been higher than average, which drives obviously the premium cost, not only for us, but for all the districts that are part of the state, because it's a pooled fund. But it impacts the ability for for River Edge to possibly look elsewhere. So basically, the composite loss ratio is 146%. It's comprised of medical loss ratio, which is 142%. And since the Finance Committee meeting, we also got the prescription loss ratio, which is 170%. So what that basically means is every dollar in premiums that the district pays, basically the plan is losing, they're paying out in claims $1.46. So they're losing money, and that's what's driving up the increases in health benefits.
So do we know, does the premium increase that's built in for next year, does that cover that at all for them, or not really?
So the premium increase is on a calendar year, so what the state approved was the calendar year of 26. So come summertime of 26, they're going to set the new rate for 27. So we would have to project out 6 months when we build the budget for next year.
All right. I guess what I'm asking is, as the premiums go up, the loss ratio should
So the loss
improve.
ratio goes down.
Right.
Should go down.
Right.
Correct. And what they did was this claims ratio was based on 2 years. So they went out 2 years, but the trend for River Edge is the last year has increased. So it's not a downward trend.
Okay.
With that being said, however, I spoke to the broker to do due diligence for the taxpayers, obviously for the board. We will still go out and shop and market. We'll do a market effort. We'll put it out there. We'll see if there's any potential opportunities that emerge to any carriers. And if there isn't, we'll bring it back to the Finance Committee and to the board. If there is opportunity, we'll also bring that back to the Finance Committee and decide if it is a benefit, if it's a huge savings, and we want to, look further into that option. The next item is the 24-25 audit, which we have the auditor, Mr. Higgins here, which has been completed. There is an item on the agenda tonight to accept and approve the audit. Under finance H1, I just would like to thank all the staff involved, including the business office, the superintendent's office, his staff, buildings and grounds, special education, curriculum, technology, Region 5. There's all these different areas that the audit kind of touches on, and we kind of, they assist with getting what is needed to complete that audit. So I would just like to thank everyone who worked hard with the auditors during the process. There is a lot of work that goes on in getting what they need, as well as doing their normal, daily responsibilities. And then the last item is the purchasing manual update. So in addition to the policy, we review, our manuals, our SOPs, and we present it to the board to get that approved annually. So we did complete I completed the purchasing manual review, and it has been updated. And that's also another item on this agenda to approve. It's under H12 under finance. And that is basically just making sure our internal controls are strong, making sure it's complying with state regulations, federal grant compliance supplements, and that has been reviewed and updated accordingly. And lastly, I'd just like to wish everyone a happy holiday season, and that concludes my report. If anyone has questions.
Any questions? No? Thank you. All right. President's report, that's me. So we already talked about the vacant seat. That was the one thing I was going to talk about. And the other thing, the reason we have a vacancy is that this is Alethea Crespo's last meeting with us, and we're sorry to see her go. We have a nice little plaque here that we'll give to you.
Thank you.
Appreciation for your outstanding dedication and service, River Edge Board of Education.
Thank you.
And we also have some flowers.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
You can still come to the viewer. You want to take a little quick picture real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a picture.
Everybody, if we can.
Can we get that? Well,
Well, can we, Tom, can Tom take a picture of the full board? Well, mine's on this.
oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
We have people.
Been a board member for tumultuous
I was
times.
gonna say, it's only been 3 years. It feels longer than that. I'll get it. Is that good?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've been on moment.
We started together.
I started only in here.
I didn't know that.
Thank you all.
I didn't compute that.
Was it 1 year or 2 years?
No speech.
1 year?
Oh, well, I did a one. then a
Oh,
three.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you all. I mean, it's really, it started off quite interesting. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Came on definitely at an interesting time. But it's been great working with everyone and really appreciate everyone's hard work and dedication for the community. Thank you all.
Yeah, and we appreciate your valuable input. It'll be missed, for sure.
Thank you.
That concludes my report. Moving on to committees. Oh, finance and facilities.
I don't think there's much because you
Yeah, we pretty much covered everything that we
You
talked about.
stole all the thunder.
Yeah,
The only thing I can talk about is the CD investment. Did you bring that up?
I didn't bring it up,
All right, then
but you
that's
could
the
bring it
only
up.
thing I could talk about. So our CD is maturing 12/27. We're looking to reinvest based on rates. Rates will be provided December 22nd. Everything else you talked about.
All right,
So,
great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Personnel and management?
Personal and Management Committee met December 11, 6:30 p.m. via virtual. The attendance was Mr. Langley, Mr. Cohen, Dr. Bernice, Mr. Thomas Wick, and myself. The agenda items and discussion. The first one is mentioned by the business administrator, the account payable and receivable position. The committee discussed the status of the bookkeeper position. The employee returned from medical leave earlier in the fall, but has since experienced a setback and has been intermittently absent. At present, no new formal leave request has been submitted to manage operational leaves. An as-needed staff member is assisting several days per week, while administrative leadership is covering additional bookkeeping responsibilities. While this approach has allowed essential functions to continue, it was acknowledged that the arrangement is not sustainable long-term. The committee noted potential cost implications should the employee utilize remaining paid leave while additional staffing is required. Leadership committed to keeping the committee informed as the situation develops. The second item was custodial staffing and facility coverage. A review of custodian staffing levels was presented using the county guideline of approximately 17,000 square feet per custodian. Current staffing as both Cherry Hill and Roosevelt schools falls within acceptable ranges, indicating sufficient coverage. However, the administration identified a need for a stronger substitute custodian pool. The current hourly rate was discussed as a barrier to attracting qualified candidates. The committee discussed the possibility of increasing the substitute custodial pay range and potentially bringing a recommendation to the full board. A floating or part-time custodian position was also discussed as a possible future option, subject to budget considerations. Next item was instructional staffing and leave replacement. The committee reviewed several personal matters related to instructional staffing. A teacher was placed on bed rest due to pregnancy-related medical complications, resulting in an extended leave. The district is utilizing long-term substitutes in 2 positions. The district is employing its first candidate through the limited certificate of eligibility program following recent approval by the New Jersey Department of Education. Several leave replacements are expected to return between now and the end of January, which will return those substitutes to the sub-pool. And the other item, policy manual updates. Full Board of Education policy manual draft has been completed and placed in the Board of Education policy folder. The committee confirmed that the policy manual will receive its first reading at the upcoming board meeting, followed by second reading at the subsequent meeting. And that's about it. And other things was discussed already.
There's a lot.
Any
Any
questions?
question?
No? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and curriculum and instruction.
Curriculum instruction met on December 9th at 4:30 virtually. Mr. Langley, Ms. Brown, myself, and Dr. Bernice were in attendance. We discussed round 2 observations beginning. The spelling bee, the Junior Women's Club is having a spelling bee January 18th at OPS. And the Scripps National Spelling Bee, it says the Cherry Hill bee is Friday, January 23rd, and the Roosevelt is Thursday, January 22nd at 9 a.m. So I think we can find some information on the school website. Those will be posted. Upcoming PD sessions were discussed for math and reading. What?
We're also going to live stream.
But I knew we talked about doing something with
For the
people being able, yes, the scripts, okay. So, more information on that in January. Innovation assessment and special projects, we just discussed report cards, which were released last Friday. Kindergarten Gifted and Talented will be expanded in January. What is this? The WIN staff will be starting their new cycle. Budgeting was touched upon for technology needs for the upcoming year. SGOs were discussed, and library discussions for the future. That's it.
Thank you. That's it. All right, moving on to items to be acted upon. Can I have a motion for item D1, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
And President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on D1.
thank you. Can I have a motion for item E1?
Just D1. Move to approve D1 as stated.
Second?
call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
And President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on E1.
thank you. Can I have a motion for F4, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
And President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on F4.
thank you. Can I have a motion for G1, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
And President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on G1.
thank you. Can I have a motion for item H16, please?
Move to approve item H16 as stated.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? No? Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on H16.
thank you. Can I have a motion for I8, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
And President Langley?
Yes.
Motion carries on I8.
Can I have a motion for J6, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
President Langley?
Yes.
Motion carries on J6.
Can I have a motion for K18, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on these? Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
And President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on K18.
thank you. And can I have a motion for L3, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? No. Roll call, please.
Ms. Crespo?
Yes.
Ms. DeLisandro?
Yes.
Mr. Frias?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Sim?
Yes.
President Langley?
Yes,
Motion carries on L3.
thank you. Does anybody have any new or old business they wish to bring up?
Just thank you for being there for the last 2 years.
Yes.
3 for 2 for me. That's
that's
three.
right. Yeah.
3 together. I mean,
total.
2. What I meant.
To him, only the two matter.
Yeah, I know. Before, yeah,
Well, yeah.
disregard the first one.
That's the way it is.
Wishing everybody a happy holidays.
Yes,
Happy holidays, everyone.
new business. Happy holidays. Seeing as there are no public comments, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,